Alright guys, so today we're going to be having a look at the Mavic Air 2 and how it behaves at night. So, enjoy the video. Alright guys, Neil from Neil Codes Recording. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back to my channel if you're not. If you do enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that sort of thing, so I can grow the channel. Just gone past 500 subscribers, which I'm really happy about. That's not a massive number, but relatively new channel, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. Apologies for the helmet, but safety first and all that. I'm on my one wheel. The reason I'm on my one wheel is a lot of the videos I've done of late have been in the studio, tutorials, all that sort of thing, which is fine, but I thought I'd mix it up a bit, get outside. And there's a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. For some reason I just haven't made yet on the Mavic Air 2. So I've been wanting to test out its night shooting capabilities. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to head down to the pier. I'm on my one wheel now, because there'll be some nice lights down there. I'm just going to have a play with the settings and see what the best settings are for video. I'm not really going to look at photos tonight, but primarily I'm just going to be looking at video, seeing which ISOs work best, how far we can push it. Because I've heard good things about the capabilities of shooting at night on the Mavic Air 2, and I just want to test them out for myself, and hopefully it'll be useful for you guys. Like I say, there are other videos on this, but I haven't done one. So yeah, so let's head down to the pier and we'll get the drone up in the air. So yeah, here we are down on the beach. That light's proper blinding me, but never mind. Get the Mavic Air 2 out, get it up in the air, just see what it's like shooting in the dark. We test out the ISOs, see how far we can push it, see what sort of image we get. Been looking forward to making this one, so weather's quite nice, seems quite calm. It was raining earlier, but it's not forecast to rain again, fingers crossed. So yeah, let's do it, let's get up in the air and have a look. Nice little bag I've got here. It's an old camera lens bag, but happens to fit this in perfect, so that's nice. I just love how easy this is to put together. Like I said in the other video, I've done some other videos on it, like the Phantom 4 Pro. I love the Phantom 4 Pro, love the image, but you can't just chuck it in a bag like this one. I love that about this. And the image you get from it, I'm really impressed with so far, I have to say. I've shot a few weddings with it now. And just looks great, I think. Phantom 4 Pro probably has got a slightly better image, but just the portability factor makes this a better drone for me at the moment, shooting weddings and stuff like this. Just nice and easy. So power this on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the video mode, and I'm going to be shooting in 4K. We'll do 60 frames a second. No, we'll do 30 frames a second, because then we can have a 60 frame shutter speed. Okay. So we're going to change our shutter speed to 60. Change our ISO. We'll start at, I think we'll start at 800 and see how we get on. 30 frames per second, shutter speed of 60. So let's get it up in the air and see what it looks like anyway. Alright. So I'm going to hit record. And let's just have a look and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to point it down a little bit so we can get some of the lights on the seafront. So it is quite dark, we're not really getting any detail there at all. If we scan round, it is pretty dark. Doesn't look too noisy in the viewer, but I won't be able to tell till I get home. What we're going to do is we're going to stop that there, and then we're just going to change the ISO to 1600. And we're going to hit record again, and immediately you can see a lot more detail. Again, I can't see too much noise, so I'll check that when I get home. But that looks pretty good to me, and that's 1600 ISO. Now I've been told to not push it past 800, that's why I wanted to go to 1600 and see what it looked like. Yeah, that's 1600. So let's just for a laugh go to 32, because then it's going to fall to pieces, I reckon. So this is 3200, ISO 3200, 30 frames per second, shutter speed of 60. If we go to, let's try 60 frames per second. We're going to change the shutter speed to 120, so it's double the frame rate. And then we'll see what happens. I'll do a fast pan around, and then we'll slow it down in post and see what sort of image we get. And this is 3200 ISO. Yeah, we'll slow down some of these cars and just see what it looks like. Okay, so that's 3200. Let's take the ISO down to 1600. And again, see, it's getting quite dark now. Obviously the faster shutter speed's making the image darker, so I don't think 800 is going to really hold up on this, but we'll try it in a minute. Again, we'll check this in post. Alright, for a laugh, let's go to 800. Okay, so this is 800, 60 frames per second, shutter speed of 120. It's just really dark, isn't it? It's not really usable. Like I say, when we get back, have a look at it, but from here, that doesn't look usable to me. Let's try some slow-mo. If we go to slow motion, automatically goes to 1080p. So let's do 120 frames per second. 120 frames per second. ISO. Let's go up to 1600. Shutter speed 240. Let's put the ISO up to 1600. And let's try that. So this is super slow-mo. It's still a bit dark, isn't it? 1600, it's still a bit dark with a shutter speed of 240. That's to be expected. Super slow-mo at 180. Let's just try ISO of 3200. Just watch the cars. This is going to be the super slow motion one, so just watch the cars, see what they look like. Now I'm going to probably get some flicker from the lights in this as well, I reckon. Like I said, I won't be able to tell when I get back. Might be the same in all the videos actually, a bit of flicker. So we've got our footage, we'll take it home, put it on the big screen, see what conclusions we get from it. So I'll see you back there. Right guys, so what conclusions can we draw from tonight's little test that we've done? Personally, I found that if you go above 30 frames per second, so if you do any sort of slow-mo, then the footage isn't really usable because the shutter speeds have got to be so high that there's just not enough light coming into the camera. I would advise against doing any sort of slow-mo at night. That's just what I've found. So I would suggest only shooting up to 30 frames per second, because then you can bring the shutter speeds right down to 60 frames per second, let a bit more light in, and you should get better results. In terms of ISO, I found with 800 ISO there just wasn't really enough detail, so I popped it up to 1600 ISO and I seemed to get some really good results, and there wasn't that much noise in the shadows. Video's playing in the background, so you can draw your own conclusions from that, but I was told not to go above 800 ISO because it introduces too much noise. I didn't find that to be the case. I thought it was more than usable at 1600 ISO, and in fact that would probably be the setting that I would use if I went and shot in the dark again. 1600 ISO, 24 to 30 frames per second, 50 to 60 shutter speed would be the settings that I would use shooting at night. But if you disagree, please do let me know in the comments below. I'd love to start a conversation on this and see what you guys think. The drone's relatively new, so we're all learning, so please do let me know what settings you use, so other people in the group can try it out for themselves and make their own conclusions. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. I read and reply to all your comments. If you haven't already, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so I can let you know when future videos are released. I'm releasing content on a Monday and Thursday at the moment, gear tech tutorials, reviews, all that sort of thing. So if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, then please do subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.